Respected Principal Sir, our today's guest, Mr. Shivanand Das, CEO from NIT Jalandhar, members of the IIC, DAV College Jalandhar, and wonderful students sitting here, a very good afternoon to all of you. Now students, as you know that Institution Innovation Council, DAV College Jalandhar has organized an invited talk on innovative thinking and design under the banner of IIC calendar activities today. As you know that design thinking is a human-centered approach to innovation in understanding the customer's need, rapid prototyping and generating creative ideas that will transform the way you develop various products, various services, processes and organizations. By using design thinking, you make designs based on what customers really want instead of relying on the historical data or making risky investments based on instinct instead of evidence. It's very well said by Steve Jobs, innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. First of all, I'd like to welcome from this stage Mr. Shivananda Das to DAV College Jalandhar, and I would like to request Principal Sir to give a floral welcome to Mr. Das. I request all the members of the IIC to give a floral welcome to Mr. Das.
Garland.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, before I formally introduce you to our today's guest speaker, I would like to call upon Principal Sir to say a few words.
So thank you very much, Professor Puneet. Honorable guest speaker of the day, Mr. Shivananda Das from NIT Jalandhar. Professor Puneet, the coordinator of IAC in the college, Dr. Rajiv Puri, other members of IAC and dear students. As we are already aware that the college is very successful running IAC, Institutions Innovation Council, for the last few months, and under this different activities are organized and we have different conveners for different areas, other domains which come under IAC. So today's activity is based on innovation, for which Professor Puneet is in charge. He's in charge of Innovation Council, and our source person, Mr. Shivananda Das. I was just talking to him in my office and looking at his biodata. He's really a very multi-dimensional and multi-talented person. If you look at his qualifications, he's BTech from NIT Rourkela, I suppose. He's basically in electronics. Thereafter, he has done his master's in psychology. See, where is electronic and where is psychology? There is no match. But this is again an innovation, innovative thinking, innovative ideas, and then his master's in information technology. Then from IIM Kashipur, he has done his entrepreneurial marketing. So marketing on one side, information technology, psychology, and electronic engineering. So there's no match. So that is what makes a person completely innovative and a different person. So how can you learn the vocabulary of psychology and how can you use it in management And how about IT? Of course, IT and electronics, they are somewhat linked, but other areas are really different. So this is really great of you, sir. Our students and our teachers, they will also get motivation from you. They will get some inspiration from you that nothing is impossible if one thinks so. If you decide to attain something or gain something, there is no barrier except for your mind and yourself. Nobody else. So this is a very good opportunity for our students who are present here. And our source person is really a very talented person, and he's a very effective communicator, as I have talked to him. So I'm sure that he will definitely be benefited. I convey my best wishes to all the participants and convey my heartfelt gratitude to this IAC Council of the college. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. I would like to request all the members of IIC to join hands with Principal Sir to give a token of gratitude to our today's speaker, Mr. Shivananda Das.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I would like to introduce you to our today's guest speaker. As already told by Principal Sir, he is a multi-dimensional, multi-talented personality. Mr. Shivananda Das, CEO of Technology Incubation Center, National Institute of Technology, Jalandhar. He will deliver the invited talk and throw light on the innovation and design thinking today that will certainly make you think out of the box before you actually go for the design. He is an NIT Rourkela graduate who dropped out his master's program at Texas A&M University after working at Accenture and Sapient Nitro Private Limited, only to return to India as a recluse. Is how Mr. Shivananda Das' life hit a low. But the universe showed its uncertain ways when he started his entrepreneurial journey after having retired to the Himalayas for around 6 months. It was after that when he published his first novel named Never Apart, which was released by the most treasured writer of children's book, a contemporary Indian writer of the British descent, the Ruskin Bond. Since then, his life showed the most mesmerizing ablution of joyous colors of the future, idyllic parterre that lay ahead in his career. He ran his own restaurant in the day and worked as a data auditor in a multinational company in the night hours, and easily managed to complete his master's in psychology and information technology alongside. Later, he graduated as a gold medalist from IIM Kashipur in entrepreneurial marketing and soon joined as a CEO at Incubation Center FIED at IIM Kashipur itself. After working for about 2.5 years, he is now the CEO of the Technology Business Incubation of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, NIT Jalandhar. Stands firm as the chaperone of the flame that the Technology Business Incubation Center burns with, where he strives to lead, transform, and takes Punjab's entrepreneurial talent to heights untouched. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you here Mr. Shivananda Das.
You do it?
Good afternoon. फिर से करें? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you. क्यों psychology? Why? Why an engineer is gonna go for psychology? No idea. Anyone who knows about Buddhism, how Buddhism evolved? What does Buddhism say? It says about balance in life.
Yes, sir. Salvation, balance.
Balance in life.
Yes, sir.
Where did he get the idea from?
सुना है कहीं ना कहीं से सुना है.
Tanpura. Music. Music. He was going alongside and he found that there was this Tanpura fixer, a musician, who was fixing the wires. उसमें फिर अगर you know if it is too tight, the music is not gonna flow. If it is too loose, music is not gonna flow. And then he realized that balance is the aim of life. Buddhism, Tanpura doesn't match, but at the end of the day, we are dealing with humans. And to deal with humans, psychology is the gateway. That's one of the reasons why I did that. And when you talk to entrepreneurs, they might be good in technology, but then they are driven by emotions. They are, at the end of the day, they are individuals, they are not specimen copies. They don't eat bits and bytes. They eat food. And they are driven by complete emotions. So that's one of the reasons, psychology. Thank you, DAV sir, DAV and the faculty over here for introducing, in such a beautiful way. The floral gifts, amazing. Thank you all of you, first of all. I will not take much of your time. I'll just come to the topic. You see this. What is wrong with it?
The user is looking for shortcut.
No, that's not just the user. You see, it's been traveled by so many people.
Yeah.
It's not just one user.
There's the
There
problem in the
is flaw
design.
in the design. The one who actually did it, they felt people are going to follow the rules, but at the end of the day, people are dealing with people. If they are smart, others are smarter. So there is a flaw in the design. That's one of the reasons why design thinking came. By the way, design thinking is not a topic. It's just a tool. Just, that throws light how to begin with stuff. And before we actually delve much into the topic, I would say 95% of the startups fail. 87% of the businesses fail. 90% of the families are unhappy in India. If you you don't have to go and delve, deeper. Just knock at your door, you will know the answers. Yes or no?
Yes.
And I'm not going to the married couples. I think the answer would be around 100. So before we actually talk about what is design thinking, a couple of examples, and I want you guys to actually say me the answers, and I want you to interact, because this is not going to be someone management psychology. We cannot just go and teach you, because everybody has a different take on it. So why did Nano fail? Yes.
There are so many reasons for the failure of Nano. One of them that they have marketed Nano as a cheapest car of.
Perfect. And this is something which even Ratan Tata admitted, in an interview.
And afterwards, in Indian market, the customer perspective that the car is a brand that make them a successful person, and on the other hand, they have marketed as a cheapest car. So this is not matched with their emotions.
Yes. So demand is willing to pay and capacity to pay. Those who had money, they felt we won't have the cheapest car in the garage. And those who never had the money, willingness doesn't give you anything. Done? So that is probably the reason why it's being a wonderful product, it's easy parking, easy handling, and a mountain car, and is inexpensive, still failed in the market. Because the first step was wrong. I'll come to more examples and I'll ask you. But then if you have to relaunch Tata Nano, how you're going to do that? In case if you are given an option to relaunch Tata Nano, how you're going to do that? What would be the tagline, or what would be your target audience? Yes?
According to me, marketing should be done not by the cheapability, but by affordability. That is going to maybe appealing for the customer that it is affordable.
Yes, and people can always say it as a student's car. How about it? Student's car? It's fine, 1.5 lakh rupees student's car, I think it is better. I think Royal Enfield cost you 1.8. How many of you ride Royal Enfield? Okay, you are the only one who is riding a Royal Enfield, so you know the answer. So basically, I'm not teaching you, by the way. There are two strategies. You know, you can have n number of strategies, they say, but basically in business there are two strategies. Either you sell something as a different feature, you know, with more features, like your iPhone. iPhone has huge number of features, or you can sell it as the most inexpensive product. So there are two ways: cost leaders and feature based. If you go to you know, Taj Presidency, Taj Hotel गए हो कभी? सुना है? देखा है? 2008 attack.
Yes, sir.
So if you go there, I mean, we had a GRE interview in Taj Presidency. That's the only way I got through. Otherwise, I don't have that much of money. So when I went, and you know, there were like, you know, odd two couples. Those who used to, you know, those who were dining in the restaurant, and all the chairs were empty. So I felt, why they don't say the tea is 200 rupees. It's open for all, and it's completely filled by everyone. Why they are making it so expensive for others? Hayana. So you can always do that. What would be the worst thing that you can do to this particular strategy? It will fail. Why? Because those two you know, couples, those who were there, they will never come back to Taj, and they are the ones who pay. They won't see the price of a cup of tea, and it is me who is gonna say कि सबसे सस्ता कौन सा है वही मंगवाऊंगा. हाँ या ना? So that's probably was one of the reasons why Taj will never, even if they have to close down, they will close down, but they will never make it open for all, because they want to have that barrier. That barrier is the one that says that you are different. So those who enter into Taj, they have that capacity. Backbenchers, yes or no? Because I used to sit in the back, so that's the only reason I have a, you know, affiliation for backbenchers. And when you are stuck in the middle, in the sense, if you choose to be different, but you charge very, you know, very nominal rate, or you have the features of a very nominal rate, and you say it as a different product, then you are stuck in the middle. That's what exactly happened with Nano car. They had the best of the features as low cost leadership strategies. They had everything, but then they were promoting it as a car. Car doesn't go with low strategies. Car is a status symbol. So people would always buy a car because they want it कि भाई मेरे घर पे car है. So to have a car and saying that, you know, it's the cheapest car, I mean, it doesn't add any value. So if you want to be the leader of something, so all the characteristics should match of that particular domain. Hayana. Now this is interesting. Red Bull. सबने पिया? Red Bull.
Yes, sir.
सुना तो हो, सुना तो होगा, हाँ या ना? How are you gonna market it? See, any company, any Coca-Cola drink or any cola drink that comes into the market, there are two sharks, Pepsi and Coca-Cola. They will never allow you. Thumbs Up, India's product, पता है या नहीं है?
Yes, sir.
But now it's Coca-Cola's. So you cannot have it because they will use political, strength, everything they will do in ensure that you are not there in the market. Either you have to sell it to them, or you close down the shutters. But then if, how Red Bull came into the picture, they wanted to enter into the market, but then there are two guys who says, no, how are you going to do it?
Energy drink.
Oh, it's an energy drink. But then Pepsi also has so many things. They are Tropicana, real juice, they have everything. So food drink, they have it. Cola, they have it. Fanta, they have it. One is having Fanta, other one is Mirinda. So they won't allow it. How you are going to come into the picture? If you want to come up with one cola drink, how are you going to come? How are you going to market it? Product is absolutely awesome, but then how are you going to market it? They won't allow it because wherever you go, any shop that you go, it's either written Coca-Cola fridge or Pepsi fridge. वहाँ पर तुम कुछ भी नहीं रख सकते हो. और वो तो सर पर रख के नहीं बेचेगा. So how are you gonna sell it?
Add something new caffeine.
It is with minerals and fruits.
No, whatever you do, sir, but how are you gonna sell it? Because the fridge is given by Pepsi or Coca-Cola. They can't keep it.
मार्केटिंग कैसे करेंगे?
कैसे करोगे? How you want to enter into the market? The product is good, as I said, product is good, but how you are going to enter into the market? Yes. आपने सारा पढ़ लिया क्या? बोली डेटा लीक हो गया?
इन अ केस की प्रोडक्ट अच्छा है, उसकी सारी क्वालिटीज अच्छी है, तो उसके केस में हमको प्रोडक्ट की वैल्यू बढ़ानी पड़ेगी। उस प्रोडक्ट की वैल्यू बढ़ाने के लिए
बेचोगे कैसे?
हाँ जी,
How you going to sell it? हाँ।
तो हम उनको सेल करने के लिए उसकी वैल्यू बढ़ानी पड़ेगी। या तो हम लोगों को वैल्यू सेलिंग उसमें ऐड करनी पड़ेगी। अगर लो कॉस्ट
कहाँ बेचोगे?
Market.
पहले तो B2B मार्केट में हम रिटेलर्स स्टोर्स
नहीं लेंगे ना, that's what I'm saying. The product is awesome, everything is good, but Coca-Cola and Pepsi won't allow it. अब बताओ।
उस केस में हम लोग इसकी इतनी वैल्यू बढ़ा देंगे कि डिमांड बढ़ जाए।
हम जानते नहीं है ना लोगों को पता ही नहीं है इसके
सर
बारे में।
फ्री बांट दो उनको पहले।
फ्लेक्स मार्केटिंग
Edit
जैसे
some free
मैच
ships.
होते
फ्री
हैं,
देखकर एडिट कर लेंगे।
Some free ships.
इन दैट केस जैसे मैच होते हैं, जैसे प्रमोटर्स जो बड़े-बड़े सुपरस्टार्स हैं उनके through
Anyone who knows Red Bull, how Red Bull comes into the picture in colleges?
जैसे जियो ने फ्री दिया पहले, देन एडिटेड कर दो, देन इंट्रोड्यूस।
This is like, I mean, this is what the drink is all about. It's absolutely an amazing drink, but then how they sell it?
Yeah, sponsor. I was onto that.
They are the only ones. They felt that my drink is for the youth, so I will not sell it in the retail shops. I will sell it in the canteens, college canteens. Done. So college canteen, Tech Fest, Spring Fest, कोई भी फेस्ट होगा, they are the ones who generally sponsor. NIT में सारे जितने भी अभी जो दही हांडी वाला जो था ना, that also was sponsored by Red Bull. So Red Bull sponsors these kind of activities. Now, if you actually, you as a student, you have taken sponsorship, so there is a debt there. Emotional debt हो जाती है ना कि हमने event किया, sponsor किया Red Bull ने. So all your life you will stick to the brand. That loyalty factor comes in because they sponsored you when you needed money. Getting? So that's how Red Bull actually didn't fight against Coca-Cola or Pepsi. They actually made sure that our target audience gets the product. The rest of the people, we don't give a damn. Nice strategy.
Yes.
There are customers here, I guess. Customers or only they're like seeing this for the first time? You're hearing it for the first time, Marlboro?
Yes.
Guys, anyone who knows how Marlboro was introduced and why it was introduced? आपको बिजनेस करनी है क्या? बोलो.
प्लानिंग मतलब चाहते हैं।
नहीं इसका आंसर वो बोला कि उसको कुछ नहीं पता।
इसका आंसर हाँ जी सर, बिजनेस स्ट्रेटजी पता है कि उन्होंने क्या यूज
नहीं स्टार्टिंग प्रोडक्ट इट वाज
इसको मार्केट कैसे किया था ये पता है।
हाँ
जब इसको मार्केटिंग करनी थी, एक्चुअली ये जो प्रोडक्ट्स होते हैं तो इसको डायरेक्ट मार्केटिंग नहीं कर सकते हैं, उसके लिए उन्होंने एक
this particular product was launched as a women's cigarette. It's a unisex. In USA, it's a unisex habit to have, to go for smoking. India is catching up, unfortunately. But then, if you look at it, was the first cigarette with filters, because the lipstick would get smeared with soot and smoke, so they would use filters. ठीक है, ताकि ना वो lipstick खराब ना हो जाए. So it was introduced as a women's product. But then soon there was this particular article that smoking is injurious to health. It causes cancer. Now guys were a bit scared. So what they did was they said let's not focus on the women. The reason being they are not women are not pagan. They are not fanatics. Guys can be fanatics. Nothing against, I'm not sexist here, but I'm saying generally they are fanatics. So what they did was they relaunched the product, saying that sign of manliness. So this is the reason, Marlboro was the reason why the product, I mean, अभी जब आप movie में देखोगे ना, they take cigarettes, they smoke cigarettes, so it's like, guys are so, उनको लगता है ना कि if you are manly, you are smoking a cigarette. 10 years back, it used to happen. Now it's, it's banned, but 10 years back, it used to happen. जितने भी movies में अगर hero cigarette नहीं पिएगा तो फिर he's not a hero. So this concept came because of this. They associated manliness with cigarette. Cigarette is a useless product, but then how they did it is a beautiful positioning that they made that ensured that this product is a sign of manliness. Yeah. Those who never wanted to smoke also nahi yaar, you know, there is a question mark here. So I got to smoke. So this is how beautifully they did it. Now we come to that why and how design thinking comes and where it plays a role. And I will go through all those examples and I'll say you how it. Hindi is fine, English is fine, whatever it is. The last time I appeared in Hindi, I got 0.
It's fine.
This is design thinking. Design thinking is not a topic. Design thinking is not a subject. Design thinking is a way to see at a problem. And it says that no matter what you do, no matter how tech savvy you are, no matter what kind of aims you have, you are still a human being. And a company runs by humans, for people, of people, by people, as they say it as democracy. So it is always about people at the end of the day. So when it talks about people, what it takes people in the first place. But then if you look at the Indians, most of the Indians, they feel like, Lala, main hu, customers bhaad mein gaya. हाँ या ना? Lakme, the name Lakme comes from? आप बताओ? Lakme comes from? Which goddess? Lakshmi. Lakme is the French name of Lakshmi. But then Tata, when they introduced it, they deliberately made it as Lakme because Lakshmi, Indians are the ones those who will not buy it. Ganesh chart, McDonald's. Ganesh chart खरीदोगे नहीं खरीदोगे. But McDonald's, it feels like, you know, you are appearing in GRE examinations or in IIT examinations. McDonald's बोलने से तो लगता है कि, you know, if you are even a sweeper in McDonald's, you feel like I am a janitor in McDonald's. People will hear, yeah, maybe next to the CEO. Same words, but different way of putting it. Tata does it the best way. They always target the target audience and nobody else. I didn't do anything.
Wi-Fi बंद कर.
And this is done. I forgot that I was an engineer. So they start with empathy. Empathy is, you know, what do you mean by empathy, by the way?
To be able to listen to somebody.
Empathy is to put yourself in somebody's shoes and see from there. There was this beautiful story, an elephant, you touch an elephant from different angles, you will describe it differently. अगर सूंड को पकड़ोगे तो you will say it's, you know, it's an animal with a trunk. If you touch the belly, you will say it's a wall. They say it. So basically, empathy means you see the other point, you know, the customer's point of view. And it starts with there. And we always forget, I mean, you go to IITs, you go to, you know, IISc Bangalore, I mean, we had a very recent, you know, somebody came from Baba Atomic.
Yeah.
So, you know, you look at those people, they will focus on the product first. दिमाग में आया बहुत बढ़िया product है, they will focus on the product. And they will keep on thinking that this is the finest product in the world. IITs में जाओगे बोलोगे clear किया, JEE clear किया. Somebody, you know, introduced a milk packet saying that I'm an IIT IIM alumni. Milk. पीछे IIT IIM का भी वो लगाया tag. Why? Because they believe that IIT IIM मतलब गोबर भी बिकेगा. But then the market is very smart. You can always take everything. अरे फिर से हो गया. The market is extremely smart. You can do n number of stuff. Market doesn't give you a damn. Government says, you know, make in India, China से नहीं लेना. People say 10 रुपए, 60 रुपए, made in China, जिंदाबाद. And they'll come back and say कि let's go for make in India. But when you pay, you forget everything. It's money only that you will be concerned about, and this is nothing wrong in it. Even Modi ji would be doing the same thing. You know, everywhere. This is like, you know, this is a common psychology. When it comes to money, nobody is gonna pay. Getting? So psychology says कि आप पैसे ऊपर रहोगे. So all the companies that the Indian companies mostly that they come to the market, they focus on the product. They don't talk about any of those customers. That's one of the reasons you will always find Byju's के नीचे देखे हो comment section में. Have you seen Byju's के comment section में? Byju's took, you know, Messi, Byju's for sponsored FIFA, but how, you know, what are the comments that you see below? भयंकर गाली. मेरे 60,000 लेके चले गए, चोर लोग हैं. Why they say it? Because they have paid money because of the marketing or whatever it is, but then they didn't get the service, and they will deliberately ignore it. The companies will start ignoring these comments, and it is not just for one company. It's, you know, for every company you will look at. Mostly Tatas will follow. Mostly, I mean, I'm not promoting Tata, by the way. What I'm trying to say is, like, they generally go and look into the comment sections and try to figure it out what's happening. But then you go to foreign companies, एक comment पे आया, they will look into it. Why? Because they are walking billboards. आप जाके 4 जगह पर बोलोगे ना कि यार बेकार लोग हैं यार. So that affects. But we don't think, because ना product तो हमारा है, बहुत ही बेहतरीन product है. Nobody can touch it. IIT IIM guy. Getting? So that's why. So that's why this is so important to start with. They start with human beings and ask what exactly is your issues, what are your problems, and then they start making the product. Getting?
Yes, sir.
So you don't start with a product as such, you start with a problem.
Yes, sir.
Somebody is having this issue, so they start here. Agar if somebody is having this issue, how many people are having it? If I provide a solution, what would be the solution? And then they make the product. We start from directly from prototype. That's one of the reasons why. And somebody rightly said it was Steve Jobs. I mean, design thinking had been there for, you know, from 1950s, 40s, 60s. But it is Steve Jobs who ensured that design thinking is given importance. And how he said, and there is a famous interview also in YouTube, if you actually follow, you might be following it. But then it says, you know, when it comes to Nike shoes, it's a commodity. But then how Nike, you know, sells the shoes, they say we are there for athletes and we are there for athletes. So they don't promote it as a product, they promote it as an idea. That if you want to be an athlete, we are there to support you. So this emotional connection is what makes Nike so different. And they are like, you know, 6,000 rupees per pair of shoes, and we still go ahead and buy it. But at the end of the day, it's a shoe. Sar pe rakhoge nahi. But then also we do that. Why we buy it? Because we somehow feel like we are an athlete and they are supporting us. With the Valentine's Day coming up, so, you know, I think you guys have pieces of papers. I need to give you a homework.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you have papers, no? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So first of all, it comes with empathy. Then you define what are the issues, the problem statements. Then you come up with solutions. Innovative idea, it means you brainstorm and you come up with solutions. Then you make a prototype and then you test the prototype and then you implement it. And this is not a linear process, by the way. You don't have to start with empathy. Sorry, you have to start with empathy, but then you don't have to follow the sequence as it is. You start with empathy. You might go to ideate, you might go to, you know, prototype, then you come back again to define phase, you find like, no, this particular problem solution is not solving the problems, you come back again, you move on to ideate, you go to prototype again, and you actually move forward and shuttle between the first phase and the last phase till you get the right answer, and then you implement it and you launch the product in the market. Clear on this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now coming to the most important thing, how would you come up with, hope you don't know this. So the most important thing, as I said, 90% of the Indian families, they are not happy. More than 90, I guess. There are issues, and when it comes to businesses, more than 87%, 95 startups fail. Why it happens? It's because everybody starts with what? करना क्या है सबको पता है. आज अभी क्लास में ये होमवर्क करनी है, ये असाइनमेंट करनी है. You do it. Some people know how to do it. They are the ones who provide assignments. They are the source of assignments. Others are the copiers. But then only 1% of the people know हम ये क्यों कर रहे हैं.
Yes.
So only 1% of the person, people, and they are the ones who go and become the leaders.
Yes.
Not only in politics, but in science, but in every field you will find leaders. Those who take human civilization forward, they are the ones who know why they are doing it. Very, very few people know why they are doing it. And unless and until you know why, अगर पता ही नहीं है करना क्यों है, तो कैसे करोगे? So it's more of like when you move around, do short-term gains, but at the end of the day, you will never reach at the destination where when you started from the day one. Getting?
Yes, sir.
किसको पता है? सबको पता है कि क्या करना है? Why they you chose this particular course? What you are doing presently at this particular moment? Do you know why you are doing it?
Yes, sir.
There is a reason.
Yes, sir.
You know it. Okay. Where you got to ask this question, and the moment you know it, now you can do it as I said as a task. You can actually do this. 5 whys. First of all, एक why तो पता ही नहीं चलता. 5 why तो पता ही नहीं चलेगा. Whatever you do, ask this question, मैंने क्यों किया या क्यों करूँगा. Then once you start, फिर ask कि इसमें ये problem होगा तो क्यों हुआ. If you ask 5 whys simultaneously, you'll come to the right answer कि ये मैं सही कर रहा हूँ या गलत कर रहा हूँ. ठीक है?
Yes, sir. Yes.
ये engineering क्यों किया? I did my engineering because my teachers in 12th standard they said कि शिवेन बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत talented. So I felt कि talent मतलब engineering और medical.
Yes.
Medical, biology, cutting frogs and dracos, no, I cannot do it. Engineering.
Yes.
कर करके मैं आ गया, but then I always felt when I asked this question कि मुझे करना क्या, I always felt I'm happy with people around rather than technology.
Yes.
Being in laboratory, I don't like it. Being in finance, I don't like it. Where you see numbers every single day and you believe that everything is a number. So I felt I would always be happy with people around. तो मैंने startups को choose किया. So when I'm right now at 12 o'clock in the night also, the students in NIT, those who are working on products, and I'll always be there. मुझे अच्छा लगता है. And I'm the one who is saying कि चलो यार थोड़ा सुट्टा करते हैं, सुट्टा मारेंगे, चाय वाय पियेंगे. नहीं सर ये करना है. Then it's more like every single day I am associated with 31 startups. Before that I was the CEO at IIM Kashipur, so there were 74 startups. So actually I'm associated with more than 100 startups. So every startup is a different, it's a different love story actually. And 100 love stories at a time, you feel like you are absolutely at the right place.
Yes, sir.
Getting?
Yes, sir.
Now once you know why and where you are gonna go, suppose you want to go to Goa, कैसे जाओगे?
Plane से, train से.
First of all, what is the thought that you will have?
Plane.
मैं सर को पूछूंगा कि ना गोवा हर कोई प्लान करता है. हाँ या ना सर? Everybody plans for Goa. So what would be the first thought that would come into your mind?
By year.
नहीं, first thought. आप सर अभी गोवा जाओगे तो सर अभी टिकट बुक करोगे या फिर कुछ सोचोगे कुछ?
पहले छुट्टियां देखनी पड़ेंगी.
First thing is किसके साथ जाओगे? गोवा थोड़े ना अकेले जाओगे. गोवा अकेले जाने का तो मतलब ही नहीं है. तो किसके साथ जाओगे? फिर वो जाएगी या नहीं जाएगी? थर्ड इज अब दोनों जाओगे तो पैसे कहां से आएगा? फिर then there are so many issues, and then every time you actually know how those who actually go to Goa, they plan it out. So how they do it? they do it as a journey map. यहाँ से निकलेंगे तो ट्रेन अगर नहीं मिला तो क्या होगा, तो यहाँ से ये होगा, अगर पैसे नहीं मिले, मैंने उसको बोला था देने के लिए, वो नहीं देगा तो क्या होगा. So they have every plan for it, and everybody does it for Goa trip, but nobody does it for life. यहाँ पर जाना है, IIT जरूरी है, but then if you didn't get through IIT तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? No plan B, no plan C. इंजीनियरिंग करके फिर क्या करना है पता ही नहीं है. IS दे देंगे, अगर वो छोड़ के गई तो IS तो पक्का करना है. तो these are like still driven by outsiders. I remember somebody said me, in DST I went there to have a speech and they said that you have to inspire. अब मैं बोला कि ये भाई तो हो नहीं पाएगा. They said कि why, you can say. मैं बोला कि inspiration always comes from within. मैं inspire कैसे करूँगा? Inspire, the word is derived from in spirit, inside spirit. अब मैं कैसे बोलूँगा? And if you are driven, if you are inspired by Virat Kohli's centuries, you are doing wrong thing in your life. क्योंकि if you are actually doing the right thing, you will always be inspired कि ये नहीं, ये हो गया, अगली बार ये करूँगा, ये फिर अगली बार ये करूँगा, अगली बार ये करूँगा. But then आज विराट कोहली खेल लिया, अब तो मैं कल जाके क्रिकेट करूँगा. That is not inspiration, that is motivation. And motivation comes from outside when somebody wants you to do what I want you to do.
Yes, sir.
That's not your inspiration. That is my motivation कि भाई मुझे इन लोगों से कुछ चाहिए. I need those floral gifts. So I'll come here. But अगर आपको कुछ भी करनी है, then obviously you got to inspire yourself because this is the only place who knows. I mean, you're the only one who knows where to go. Nobody can say it. Done?
Yes.
So create journey maps is how they actually do it for the products. I'm saying it as from psychologist point of view, so you understand it. But then the session is on product making, so that's how you make use of the product. If a product comes from, like for an example, Uber का करना है mapping, कैसे करोगे? Uber and Ola का कैसे होगा? Before Uber came in, तो how they did it? पहले कैसा होता था? How you would book a taxi? Go to the taxi stand. First of all, go to the taxi stand. Second, you never know the pricing. You have to deal with the pricing. ठीक है? तो ये सब चीजें उन्होंने लिखा कि go to the taxi stand. How about getting the taxi into your house? ठीक है? पहले से पता चलेगा कि how much money is involved. So once you start writing the problems, then you will have solutions. If you don't have the problems, there is no solution in the first place. So they started doing this, and that's how they came up with Ola, Uber. They are not like hi-fi tech startups. They are like absolutely an aggregator. They just created a platform where the customers are there, the taxis, the service providers are there, and all you have to do is you have to map both the taxi drivers with the customers, and you take a commission out of it. So it's an app-based startup. It's not nothing hi-fi. It's not rocket science. We have a couple of startups in NIT which are actually into rocket science. There is Zovian Aerospace that is sending satellites using ISRO's rockets to space and collecting data at real time, and sending it to marine engineering for supply chain management. Absolutely an amazing startup, valued at 77 crore rupees. And very recently, on 14th of February, Valentine's Day, he is not meeting his girlfriend. He is meeting PM, Prime Minister of the country, where he is going to present before the PM office. What is his plan and what is about his startup. Absolutely an amazing startup. 27 years of age.
This is from NIT Jalan.
NIT, sir. I remember my all-time favorite startup is Shrilesh Mande's Industrial. This guy, he went to engineering to create a tractile. What is a tractile? Tractor plus tiller. Tractor plus tiller. I graduated from NIT. I still don't know why did I go for engineering. He went to engineering from the day one. He was very clear कि क्यों engineering करनी है. He came up with a tractile product, which was sponsored by DST, Department of Science and Technology. It was sponsored by Social Alpha, a venture of Tata. It is sponsored by so many companies. It has a prototype. Very recently, Vic Chandani, the person who is the founder of Naukri.com, sponsored him very recently as one of the angel investors, and he is very clear on his on his concept that I am going to bring a revolution in the tractor industry. He is just 24 years of age, and I personally feel like ये सब कहाँ थे पहले? Getting. And I will, almost we are done with this. What I'm trying to say is like, design thinking के लिए मैं आपको theory बहुत सारा बोल सकता हूँ, but I never wanted to teach you. But then I just wanted to give you how people use design thinking to come up with companies that actually have, aged. They are aged in everyone's memory, and they have created a dent in the universe. Be it McDonald's, be it any Apple computers, be it any number of computers, Tata's ventures. They're known to each and everyone. It's because they are people-centric. And the moment you forget that you are dealing with people, you bring problems to your life. Technology is just an enabler. It is not the end. It is a means to an end. And if you know how to talk to people, if you know how to give respect to people, you are definitely going to, you'll scale the heights. There is no doubt about it. Be it, there are so many people, those who have dropped out of colleges, they have never been into IITs and IIMs, but they have done huge number of stuff. As compared to IITs and IIMs, those who are at times they are, they have been arrogant at times, and they have not done anything much in life, as they say it. Done? Anyone has seen this movie? Who? What's the movie's name?
Sir, I don't remember it, but I have seen it.
Seen it?
Yes, sir.
First letter.
I don't remember.
The movie is Founders, and this picture is taken. The movie is based on the story of McDonald's, how McDonald's came. It's an absolute and amazing movie. I think you got to ensure that you write down a couple of names of the movies which you got to see it. They are absolutely amazing. One is Founders, second one is The Octopus Sky. I think I said just note it down because this is something which you have to search and you have to see it. The Octopus Sky. These are all entrepreneurial movies. Octopus Sky talks about NASA, how somebody came, joined NASA, and this one is one of the most important movies in entrepreneurship, Founders. So what does McDonald's do basically? Before McDonald's didn't invent burgers. McDonald's didn't invent burgers. Burgers were burgers were there before.
Yes.
So what did McDonald's invent? Why McDonald's is so famous? Why there's so many roadside restaurants not famous, but McDonald's is something which is hugely famous. Why? What did they invent?
Franchising.
Marketing strategy.
Way of serving.
Convenience.
Somehow, but then what is that they invented?
Takeaway.
Time.
Time.
McDonald's, before McDonald's, most of the restaurants they would take 30 minutes as the serving time. 30 minutes serving time, then you have to eat, you have to come out. That's how it was in the world of restaurant. They started with 30 seconds. From 30 minutes they started, they lowered it to 30 seconds. And this is precisely the reason why all the MNCs in the world, they said let's have outlets of McDonald's so that the machines don't have to, you don't have to switch off the machines. So there is no breaks actually. Initially there used to be 1.5 hours break, lunchtime break, so that the machines are gonna shut down. But now, no. Now you can do is just go there, fetch your lunch, be there in your cafe, eat it, return in 15 minutes, another batch of students, another batch of employees are gonna go. So the machine runs all the time. So it increases the productivity. Since it increased the productivity, every company had an outlet of MACD. So MACD actually ensured that everybody said MACD is Jindabad. Getting?
Yes, sir.
So McDonald's is one of those things who invented time. Why and how? The reason being, they focus on the main problem that everybody is spending huge amount of time for something which is so trivial. They can do it in the home also, eating food. So they don't have to be there on the campus. And they, if they do it in the home, if they get the food from the kitchen, why they have to, they have to be served here. They're not kings and queens. Self-services. And if you look at this particular diagram, it says initially they had 17 or 18 items. They said we cannot serve 18 items with these many, this in 30 seconds. They counted the number of steps required, minimum number of steps required to make burgers, ice creams, French fries, and another one something. There are 4 items they kept. Everything they wiped out. So they said we will serve it at the moment, and they made a very beautiful plan. The moment you enter, drive through. So the moment you enter, you say your order. So they meant, they have a stock, so they just make it. They just wrap it out. By the time you reach, you pay cash, they give you the food, and you are like, oh my gosh. Getting?
Yes, sir.
So it's not just 30 seconds plus the drive time, but they discount that. They said that the moment you place the order, we give you in 30 seconds. But then they somehow got some extra time through the drive, and they made it. And that's how it became a brand. It's very people centric. You go there, you say the food is not good, they will replace it. And you go to Ganesh Chaat, you say the food is not good, वो बोला कि तबीयत खराब होगी तुम्हारी. हमने तो ये चक्का बहुत ही सही है. Getting?
Yes.
So the moment you give respect, Ratan Tata, you see, every time his shoulders are so lowered, he feels like every time he is saying thank you for using his product. So you say anything against Tata, people will beat you. As if it's a national, it's a national, pride. But it is. Getting?
Yes, sir.
But then you don't have that same thing for other companies. Why? Because somehow you never associated with their brands. They somehow have never given you that respect. Done?
Yes, sir.
The biggest of this, the one who actually created design thinking.
Yes, sir.
I'm pretty sure those who use Harley Davidson or Royal Enfield or iPhone, to them these products are not just products. To Steve Jobs, to the customers of Apple computers, Steve Jobs is a messenger of God. To those who ride bullets or Royal Enfield or Harley Davidsons, that's not just a ride. It's a right to salvation. It's a right to freedom. It's a right to moksha. That's how they tattoo their, the Harley Davidsons on the skin. They feel like even if there is anything that we have to take it to the afterlife, it is Harley Davidson, not the girlfriend. So why they do it? Why they are so driven by these products? Because the products are somehow linked to their emotions. They are not associated with as a product. They are associated as a human being. So they are willing to fight against anyone. आप अगर US में जाके बोल दोगे कि iPhone, Windows better, I'm pretty sure you will end up in the hospital. The same in UK. If you say Manchester United is not a good team, if you say it, and Harley Davidson में तो तुम्हें पता भी चल जाएगा ना, with mustache and all those figures, you will fear to say it because they would have baseball bats and all. तो आप पहले बोलोगे ही नहीं, I'm pretty sure of. But then even if you take pride and say it, I'm sure they will do it, and they will say I will call the police and say I have done this crime and I will go to the prison. But then I will beat you left and right. So this is how, and very subtly he used technology, he used business, and he brought human values, clubbed them together, and at the end he said it's innovation. And everybody believed that. But at the end of the day, it's just a phone. If you throw it out, nothing is gonna change. So this is my last slide. So there are two companies who actually used. The moment iPhone said this and Steve Jobs said it, that design thinking is very important. Some companies used design thinking deliberately and used this means and came up with finest results. Corning is one of those examples. Corning कितने लोगों को पता है? How many of you use Corning products? Yes, everybody. उनका product क्या है? Gorilla Glass. So what happened? $500 per share. It was the उनका share market जो था, share price $500. Because of some issues, because of the bubble burst and all, it came to $1 per share. So they had only $500 million only left, and everybody said we have to throw people out. As a CEO, what we will do? Whom you are going to throw out? Company में सबसे important लोग कौन होते हैं? Which division? Production. But then people are not buying your products, so production चाहिए ही नहीं. Whom you are going to throw out? People said, except marketing, throw everybody out, because marketing is, we guys are from marketing, we know how important we are. We don't do anything, but then we know everything. That's how marketing people believe in. But then the CEO of Corning said no. He went to design thinking rules and he said, who is our customer? Who is our customer? And they felt customers always believe that. By the way, in the whole history of civilization, human civilization, which is the finest product, which is the most innovative product, that the most valuable invention?
Mobile phone.
Mobile.
Civilization.
Internet.
It is actually glass. There is, you remove glass, you won't have cars. You remove glass, you cannot have mobile phones. You remove glass, you can't have, anything. So glass is the greatest invention of human civilization. And the company that actually does magic in glass is Corning. Corning is a glass manufacturing company, but then they do every magic in using glass. So you go to the site, the Corning website, you'll see that this is ये भी हो सकता है glass में. So you'll realize how important it is for you. How important glass is for the humankind. By the way, they said what we are for to create something which will revolutionize the whole world. So everybody associate us with innovative glass products. So they removed everyone except the R&D team. So the R&D team was kept and everybody was thrown out. They said that if we keep marketing people, they will, instead of shutting it down today, they will linger it. Maybe in another 1 month's time we will shut it down. But then it's the eventual, it's a fact that we will shut it down. But let's try with a hope that R&D team will come up with something different. So R&D team worked with those $500 million, and they came up with Gorilla Glass. And that's when they directly called Steve Jobs, because they had heard of Steve Jobs was working on iPad. By the way, iPad came first, was the first product, but they shelved it. The moment Steve Jobs saw this glass, he said, iPhone is the thing that can come out. So they had they signed the deal. So iPhone came, Gorilla Glass is being used in every phone, and they are back in business. Design thinking, nothing changed. The only thing that matters is why. हम क्यों हैं? That answer, that particular CEO asked this question, हम यहाँ पर क्यों हैं? Then he realized that it is R&D that is our lifeline, not marketing. And if you ask this question all the time, you'll realize कि अरे यार आज पार्टी में जाना सही है नहीं. You'll realize the answer. नहीं जाना है यार. If you ask this question. And Airbnb, this is the last example. Airbnb का logo, what does it say? आप तो logo भी पढ़े होंगे, बोलिए. What does Airbnb's logo say? Airbnb का full form क्या है? Air mattresses, bread and breakfast. And this first, in the logo, first is the logo of the Google positioning. ये वाला. Next is home, and then the third one with those W is, it's an inverted heart. So Airbnb was was launched in 2007 with in San Francisco, and there were like very hardly any others, any people those who are going to use it. Nobody was using it. So what they did was, they did again design thinking कि कहाँ पर issues हैं. The issue was, who are the travelers? Travelers are the ones who carry what? Cameras. They are very savvy, tech savvy, and they want to actually see the world in a very different way. Initially, hotels never focused on cameras photograph. Any quality of photograph is fine. They said कि we will list down the features. It is probably the only one that started कि we will give photographs of all the rooms, the features and everything through photographs and through digital camera. So who were your target audience? Travelers using camera. So the moment they saw good photographs, they started liking it. And that's how they made Airbnb as Airbnb. Our company? Oyo, on your own. Oyo was somehow copied from Airbnb. Thank you. Any questions? I'm pretty sure I said you stories only, so I don't think you would have any issues. Yes, please.
सर जैसे आपने बोला कि पहले वाई क्लियर करना है, तो मैंने भी एक दो वीडियोस देखी थी, तो ट्राई किया, लेकिन वो आ नहीं रहा कि क्यों करना है.
क्यों नहीं करना?
मतलब जैसे मैंने एक वीडियो देखी थी, उसमें कहते हैं कि आपको जीना पड़ेगा. तो वो पर्टिकुलर आंसर नहीं मिल रहा. हाउ टू डू दैट?
नहीं, हाउ टू डू इट नहीं है. पहले ना अभी अगर बोलोगे कि पीएचडी कैसे करोगे, तुम कर पाओगे? जीने का तो बहुत बार it comes at a very later stage.
वो कॉम्प्लेक्स हो गया ना.
Initially you think about any activity. Suppose you are like तुम्हें Valentine's Day में जाना है या नहीं जाना?
नहीं जाना.
तुम्हें कैसे पता चला?
है ही नहीं कुछ.
So it's an issue.
It's very clear.
It's an issue, no? कोई भी activity, forget about the Valentine's Day. Anything. Suppose you want to go for like startup करनी है, क्यों करनी?
पैसे चाहिए.
नहीं, पैसे के लिए स्टार्टअप नहीं करते. पैसे चाहिए तो चोरी करो. नहीं, चोरी. By the way, चोरी can give you money, no?
Yes, sir.
Why startup? There are thousands of things that can give you the same thing, but only one thing will give you what you want.
नहीं, इससे आज का पूछो ना. इसने why did he attend this particular session? Why?
नहीं, मेरा
Have
मैं
you got
सच्ची
the
बताऊं,
answer?
मेरा घर जाने का मन था, लेकिन सर ने कहा था कि बिजनेस रिलेटेड टॉक होगी, तो मेरा मन था कि थोड़ा बहुत पता लगे.
सर के कहने पे किया.
नहीं, एक्चुअली बिजनेस की बात थी ना, तो मुझे लगा
थोड़ा अच्छा लगा आज.
हाँ जी.
तो मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ कि it's nothing to do with one particular small event. You just ask this question कि ये करने decisions. Whenever you have to take decisions. बहुत जगह पर decisions होंगे ना. There are many, there would be many decisions that you have to take in life. But more or less आपके 6-7 decisions हैं जो कि life changing है. इससे शादी करनी है या नहीं करनी है, ये जॉब लेनी है नहीं है, ये करियर चूज करनी है नहीं करनी है, यहाँ पर सेटल होनी है नहीं है, घर खरीदना है नहीं है, and another 2-3 questions. हाँ या ना सर?
Yes, बिल्कुल.
These are the main questions. Otherwise आप तो फिर और कुछ तो जनरली नहीं होती है. So when you ask these questions, तो कहीं ना कहीं आपको अगर why पे जाओगे ना, then you will find an answer.
Yes.
उसमें फिर why पे होती है. I'm pretty sure this is gonna work out. This worked out for my wife, so it's gonna work out. Definitely gonna work out. Any questions? Session कैसा था? I didn't lecture, no? खराब लगा नहीं तो? खराब लगा तो मैं let's connect वाला part हटा देता हूँ. It was fine?
Yes, sir.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. I think you had explained the design thinking in the most lucid way it could have been. And from this platform, sir, I would like to request you that we also want to visit your incubation center at NIT.
Yes.
So, last but not the least, I would like to invite our convener, Dr. Rajiv Puri, to extend vote of thanks.
you, Das sir, for this wonderful lecture. And I'm sure today's lecture is going to give you the enlightenment or what you call the motivation to think differently, think out of the box. You look out for what the problems are there and then try to provide the solution to those problems. And definitely, if you have your approach to be problem centric, you're definitely going to find a solution to this. So thank you so much for having a wonderful time over here, and we'll certainly plan sir, a visit to the incubation center in NIT, and I'm sure the students will be getting good benefit from there. Thank you so much.